In the manhwa, the story starts by showing us a dying Sung Jin-woo. However, in the anime, it totally surprised the hell out of me. It was surprising to see the Jeju ends in the very first scene. It is something new for anime-only viewers, but for the manhwa readers, this was surprising, since they should be appear in the 13th arc of the series, which was the Jeju Island raid arc, which started around chapter 90 above. However, I think this is a great decision made by the animators. Why? This is the part where anime-only viewers will see the differences between the lower-ranked hunters and the S-ranked hunters. After the lower-ranked hunters got butchered by the ants, S-ranked hunters came in, such as Baek Yun-ho, Min Byung-gu, and Eun-suk as a reinforcement who debuted in the manhwa chapters 47, 88, and 89. Choi Jong-in also joined the raid from another area, and he appeared in the manhwa chapter 62. The next scene shows the construction site in Seoul, just like in the beginning of the manhwa, where Sung Jin-woo, our protagonist, joined as the weakest hunter with the rank E. There isn't a lot of difference around this part of anime. Jin-woo didn't take his morning coffee in the anime before the raid. Another kudos to the animators for showing how Jin-woo got trashed by a goblin, showing us how weak he really was. In the manhwa, it was not shown he got injured before Lee Jo-hee healed him. We also get to see the chairman of Korean Hunters Association, Go Gun-hee, who appeared in chapter 63 of the manhwa. Again, the animators add him for the sake of the anime-only viewers. Since he was the chairman, he explained dungeon breaks, which is the best information to provide in the first episode. He talked about how people become hunters to gain resources and riches from hunting monsters. Back in the double dungeon, everyone in the anime discussed whether to continue or not. Unlike the manhwa, Kim Sang-sik and Park Boom-sik stated their reason for moving forward. They also badly needed the money, just like Jin-woo did. We then shown a boy who is unnamed for the anime viewers, but of course for the manhwa readers, this is our boy, Yoo Jin-ho. He was supposed to show up in later parts, but the anime showed him going through the process of how the hunter ranking test works. Once you get your rank, that will be your rank forever, and you can't get stronger. Well, that's the theory that they believe, but it is an exception for Sung Jin-woo. Also, God bless the animators that served us some cake. Delicate cake, which is normally not a fan service moment in the manhwa. We can see mommy, best girl, Cha Hae-in, was introduced as she stopped some random street robbery. She appeared a bit later in the manhwa series after more than 60 plus chapters. And instead of Song Ji-yul, the leader of the D-rank party, opening the door to the temple in the double dungeon, in the anime, it was Kim Sang-sik who opened it right after Song Ji-yul's confirmation. Inside the Cartagnon temple, everything was pretty much the same, from the statues, commandments, and even the way the statues suddenly attacked them. But of course, for anime-only viewers, top-tier animation was served like a 5-star Michelin course. Just look at the victims disintegrating into nothing. For the next few scenes in the anime, we see Jin-woo panicking over the thought of dying in the dungeon in his own monologue. However, this did not show that much in the manhwa and even in the original web novel. I think of this scene to cover the rest of the episode's duration and to appreciate Taitoban's voice acting. For episode 2, Leader Song's conversation with Jin-woo was the same as the manhwa, but a few panels of him talking about bringing more healers were not included. We then see an explanation about gates and monsters, which was adapted from chapter 5's starting panels. The job of the hunters to kill monsters and conquer raids was explained again before the opening song. Then we have shown an exclusive scene in the anime wherein Jin-woo's sister, Jin-ah, is introduced. I did notice the difference in the way she was called. In the Japanese dub, she was called Jin-ah, while it was supposed to be Jin-ah. Hang Song-yi was also introduced as her classmate. She is also a hunter and she would be included in the 8th arc of the story as a hunter. Well, we can see that the anime is really rushing into introducing the key characters early on. Let us just hope that this series will not be rushed since I still want to see Beru. Oh, spoilers. Moving on. The next scene shows us Jo Hae-hwan trying to escape the temple with his speed, which he was proud of. But then of course, he died. At least we get to see a top tier animation of him running and his remaining ankle and feet rolling in the anime. Truly brutal. Afterward, Jin-woo figured out what to do and we now see the meme template get animated. However, instead of being scattered like in the manhwa, the surviving members bowed down in a line, facing the dungeon boss. Of course, next is the iconic smile, which was not fully shot in the anime, but the sound made the best of it. The next few scenes were basically mirrors the same as the manhwa, until Jin-woo left Joo-hee so he could run to another statue. In the manhwa, we see Jin-woo clinging to life by a metaphorical thread. That was not included in the anime, of course, but these scenes were best done in the anime since we could feel the tension with the jittery background music and hear how Joo-hee desperately called for Jin-woo. Next scenes, the camera panning out to the discussion of dungeon breaks, just like what was happening in Jeju Island with the ants. Scene then changes to Jin-ah going to the hospital to visit her and Jin-woo's comatose mother, Park Kyung-hye. This is also an anime-only scene to cement the reason why Jin-woo has to continue working as a hunter despite being named as the weakest. Back to the temple, we see the scene of the altar shooting lightning outward to light up the blue flames in a straight line. However, I think the animators did badly here, knowing that it was more detailed in manhwa. The next few scenes wherein everyone left Jin-woo as a sacrifice were almost the same. Even Song Ji-yul's way of knocking out Jo-hee was picture perfect. However, it was quite disappointing that we didn't get to see the panel shot of Jin-woo's looking all bloody and unwilling to die in this dungeon. The shot also was not perfectly recreated in the anime and ended up looking just like dark, like DC Universe movies. After this, the anime kinda changed the scene. In the anime, Jin-woo dodged the first attack from the statues, but in the manhwa, he was basically butchered already in the first attack, until Jin-woo's right hand was finally chopped. We then see the statue lifting up that huge ass sword to end Jin-woo's life while he was lying on top of the altar. As his consciousness disappeared, the anime showed how Jin-woo monologued about how he wanted another chance in life, and then the final blue flame going out, indicating that he died. The secret quest notification then appeared, telling Jin-woo that he could become a player. Nothing much happened after that, except for the yes button being selected. However, in the manhwa, Jin-woo still had time to think things through in his own consciousness, what the notification was all about, while the sword was slowly moving towards him. Episode 2 was excellent by far. As someone who has read the source material, the manhwa itself, I think the adaptation did a great job of adapting the story's lore, even though some shots could be better. For example, the statues. Really, I kinda disappointed in the statues. It didn't terrify me enough. Not like when I read the manhwa, but of course, in the end, nothing is perfect. And I believe that A1 Picture is doing great with the animations. Overall, it has managed to be a good, if not great, adaptation, using the manhwa effectively.